Hello everyone and welcome to an ebook haul. So yes, these are all ebooks, and these all, when I got the notifications, fell under the category of Black literature. So let's go ahead and delve in, because there are, how many on my list? 29 books on my list. And this has been going on for probably about a year that I've been adding these on, so I finally have a full page to tell you about these. When I got these particular books were all free at some point. I got these all when they were free. Some of them are part of a series, so these all fall under Black literature. I will tell you any pertinent tags and anything like that. So let's go ahead and delve right in so that this video is not overly long. The first one I have to tell you about is The Trouble with Love. This was written by Christina C. Jones and is actually book number 1 in Trouble, the series Trouble. This has, looks like 3 books in this series, at least thus far. I don't know if any of these are going to be completed, although this one looks like it might be complete because the last, it looks like all 3 of these books, no, 2 of the books in this series were published in 2015, so it's been several years, but this has 582 ratings with a 4.32 average. Additional genre tags are romance, African American romance, and contemporary. Okay, it says, let's see. That's the trouble with love. You never know when you'll lose it, when you'll find it, or what you'll have to do to keep it. One sister is living the dream. Cameron has found the perfect guy in handsome, successful Kyle. He's supportive, kind, just all around wonderful. Unfortunately, the higher the pedestal, the harder the fall. While the other is waking up from what could have been a nightmare. Unforgivable actions force Jay to move on from her admittedly stagnant relationship with Elliot, right into the arms of her best friend. With love standing right in her face all along, was love standing right in her face all along, or is she still looking in the wrong direction? Hearts are broken and healed. Scars, both physical and emotional, are formed. Happiness is found, then lost, then found again. Over the course of the year, these sisters face shattering blows and remarkable triumphs as they embark on a journey figuring out that pesky little thing called love. That sounds cute. Okay, next I have Frayed by Blakely Chorpenning. I'm sure I said that wrong. This is book number 1 in a series titled Madison Lark. And it looks like there are 2 books in this series. The last one published in 2019, but this first one was, it says, published in 2011. So I don't know if this series will be continuing or not, but several years between the books. And this one has 142 ratings with a 4.08 average. Additional genre tags are fantasy, urban fantasy, and horror. As a semi-pro fighter and free spirit, Frey doesn't have a care in the world until a secret group begins abducting supernatural teens in the Blue Hills of North Carolina for excruciating experiments. Will Frey, a leopard shapeshifter, and her unlikely allies rescue the children before they are dissected alive? Frey will do whatever it takes to stop her world from changing, including confronting personal prejudices and a brooding ex, but the ultimate sacrifice forces her to realize just how overdue change is. Her most shocking discovery: everyone's human, at least a little. It does say fans of Laurel K. Hamilton are sure to love the no surrender attitude of Frayed. Okay. Next I have Get Some, written by Pam Ward. This only has 2 ratings with a 4.5 average. There are no additional genre tags to tell you about. So the synopsis says, well, that's a review. Hang on, where does the synopsis start? If you're Trudy, aka Trudy with the booty, it's simple. No. Let's see, an exhilarating novel. Oh, here we go. How do you rob the bank? I missed the whole sentence. How do you rob the bank where you work as a teller, plus get revenge on your shady ex, escape South Central LA, and get away with it all? If you're Trudy, aka Trudy with the booty, it's simple. Having recruited a posse of hustlers, carjackers, and homewreckers who hang out at the seedy club where she sings after hours, Trudy is ready to launch the heist that will make them rich. That is, she's ready to play dumb behind the counter while her ex, Lil Steve, does the work, and then her homegirl robs him. It's a foolproof plan until greed, nerves, lust, and jealousy threaten to blow it. Soon, Trudy is trapped in a fight for her life. Any scheme that was supposed to be easy becomes a pistol-whipping bout of wills, where only the strongest survive. Okay, that actually sounds like that'll be pretty funny. Okay, next I have Bad Things, written by Bre Simone. This has 40 ratings with a 4.08 average, and no additional genre tags to tell you about on this one. And it looks like this one's a novella or a short story, as it does say that the Kindle edition is 70 pages. Let's see. Jamia Thompson is a woman trying to better her life. After being a banger throughout her teenage years, she's trying to move away from her past with her steady man, Richmond Whitfield, and their son, Killen. She hopes one day to get married and live the dream life she's always wanted. But trying to get one's life together isn't as easy as putting a fresh coat of paint on the walls. In trying to make ends meet, they both have to work long hours. But Richmond has been secretive as of late. Mistrust ensues, and Jamia can hardly rely on her friends for support. Will they manage to talk things over, or is the relationship over? Can Richmond be trusted? And who is a strange person asking for Jamia at her babysitter's? Okay, that actually sounds like that will be really good. Next up, I have Never Trust the One You Love. This was written by T.L. Joy. This has 407 ratings with a 4.14 average. No additional genre tags. It says, every girl wants to live the lavish life, but at what price? Nothing in Sweets' life is normal when she falls in love with Smooth, the infamous leader of the Hot Boys, taking her out the shelter. What? Yeah, taking her out the shelter and giving her the taste of the faster and finer things. What more could a girl ask for? Maybe taking her out of the shelter. I don't know. Saving her from a lifetime of poverty and prostitution, Crazy feels as though she owes her savior, Kryss, her life. Yet love is nothing sweet, and when the two girls are caught up in the dangerous and deadly web of the street life, everyone carries their own motives, and nothing is what it seems to be. After all, this is a game of love and war, but they should have realized sooner that you can never trust the one you love. Okay, it does say this is a series. It says this is part 1 of the Mind-Blowing Hot Boys series. So, but I don't know. It does not have a link to tell me how long the series is or anything like that. So, but it is a series. Okay, next I have Every Rich Man Deserves a Loyal Wife. It does have a tag saying this is an urban romance. This was written by Dejah Rice. This has 310 ratings with a 4.71 average. No additional genre tags to tell you about. After heartbreak leaves her weary of love, salon owner Shaylin devotes herself fully to work and family. But her structured life gets disrupted when a handsome protector named Dinero saves her from danger. Though initially resistant to his advances, she soon finds herself falling for this complex man and his double life. Behind the wealth and power lies profound grief. Losing his daughter devastated Dinero, fueling a path of violence and revenge that led to tragedy. When a family friend offers him one last shot at redemption with a fresh start in a new city, Dinero sees a chance to escape his past and start over. But letting go proves difficult when threats resurface, forcing Dinero to confront his demons. The last thing he expects is to lose his heart along the way, yet meeting Shaylin starts to thaw his guarded soul. Fearful of getting hurt again, Shaylin tries to resist their intense chemistry and growing emotional connection. But she can't deny the passion between them, and her walls start to crumble as professional ties become intimate bonds. With Shaylin, Dinero finds light through the darkness and a second chance at happiness. But when Dinero's past dangers return, their newfound love faces its biggest test. Shaylin must decide whether the man she cares for is his past or future. Will her faith in dinero and his own strength be enough to overcome present threats and heal old wounds? Or will they lose their shot at true love? It says this emotional African-American romance follows two battered hearts on their journey from friendship to an unbreakable love. If you're a fan of The Night a Rich Thug Saved Me by Princess Diamond, you'll love this. I haven't ever read that one. The Night a Rich Thug Saved Me. I will have to look into that one. Okay. Next up, I have Claiming You. This is actually book number 2 in the Lennox in Love series. Book number 1 is Caught in the Storm with a Lennox, and there are, looks like 6, yes, there are 6 books in this series, so I will need to get the first book before I read the second one, but Claiming You, this is number 2, written by Tina Martin, and it has 319 ratings with a 4.38 average. Romance and novella are the additional genre tags. And, oh, okay, so here there is a note saying that this is a standalone novella, so just from that, I'm guessing you can read these all as standalones, I would think. But I guess we'll see. But then the image I'm seeing says it's book 1 in this series, so I'm not quite sure on that one. Anyway, let's just read the synopsis. It says, at 39, Remy Lennox, married Emery McNeil. They've been friends for 2 years, married for 1 of those years. He told her the marriage was strictly for business reasons and that they'd keep it between themselves while remaining friends, that the rest of the Lennox family doesn't have to know. What he doesn't tell Emery is he's deeply in love with her. She thinks they're only friends, but he worships the ground she walks on. Still, he keeps his feelings at bay. That is until he feels like his younger brother Giovanni is moving in on his territory. Now Remington knows he must claim his woman and let her know his true feelings. Keeping their arrangement a secret is no longer an option. That sounds sweet. I'm intrigued by that one. Okay. Next I have When You Can't Let Go, written by Mia Black. This has 231 ratings with a 4.3 average. No additional genre tags to tell you about. So the synopsis reads, life in Chicago isn't easy for Jerica. She does what she has to do to get by and take care of herself, her child, and her man, Huv. I'm guessing is how that's said. Could be wrong. But Huv isn't making things any easier for them. At one time, Huv was the #1 mover out in these streets. But when he started using more product than he sold, he lost control. Now he's nothing more than a freeloading addict who takes it out against the woman who stood by him when his world fell apart. Now someone new has taken over and he's set his sights on Jerica. He can give her what Huv never could. He's the only one who can get Jerica and her child out of their desperate situation. But is she willing to say goodbye to the father of her child yet? Okay, so it does say, it looks like this is going to be a series because it says find out what happens in part 1 of When You Can't Let Go. And this one sounds like that would actually be a hard-hitting book. So that actually sounds really good. Okay, this next one I have is Marrying the Marine, written by Sabrina Sims McAfee? I'm not quite sure how to say that last name. I do apologize. This is book number 1 in the Brides of Hilton Head Island series, and looks like there are 7. Yes, because the 8th book that's showing is a bind-up or an omnibus or a book box. Anyway, so 7 books in this series. This has 716 ratings with a 3.94 average. Additional genre tags, we have romance, contemporary, military, and all of these are pretty much going to, if they're going to have this tag African American, it's going to be something like African American romance or something like that. So let's go into the synopsis. It says, fall in love with the Brides of Hilton Head Island. Sabrina Sabrina's international best-selling contemporary romance series, Marrying the Marine, is an emotional, sexy love story with light suspense. When the alpha men in this series falls in love, it's always and forever, and their dashing brides couldn't be happier. Book criminal investigator Braylon Wexler has arrived in Hilton Head Island to dutifully serve his country on Paris Island military base. As soon as he arrives, the calm he's been longing for is pleasantly shattered by the tantalizing stormy presence of Sandella Summers. She is an unexpected surprise. Oh, I just lost my place. Hang on. She's an unexpected surprise. Here we go. That stirs a hot longing in him, like a hot poker through blazing coals. Sandella Summers is perfectly happy with baking her pies. Her life is simple and pleasing, just the way she likes it. But her contentment is interrupted by the appearance of Braylon Wexler, a seductive and arrogant Marine, not her typical choice in a man. Sandella holds a secret to her heart, slowing Braylon down in his quest to win her over. But Braylon excites Sandella in ways she never thought possible. Braylon is a man of honor, and he's determined not only to win her heart, but bring her family to closure of a deeply rooted conflict. As danger and menace ensue the two lovers, can they make peace with the past and truly let love heal? Will Braylon risk his heart and his life to get everything he wants? That sounds sweet. Okay. Probably a bit spicy. I don't know the spice level on any of these. Okay. This next one I have is When Love Hurts by Shaquanda Dalton. And this is book number 1 in Jalen and Jessica series. This looks like there are four books in this series. Last one was released in 2014, so I'm guessing that this is a complete series. Additional genre tags is romance, urban, contemporary, and abuse. So obviously just from the tag of abuse, head in with caution on that one. Okay, it says, ever since her grandmother died on the day of her high school graduation, Jessica never had a family. Now she's grown up and has fallen in love with a man named Kryss that she thought was her soulmate, but she was wrong. When she discovers evidence of Kryss's infidelity, she confronts him. One thing leads to another, and she leaves his place battered and bruised. She goes into the home of her childhood friend, Jalen, who isn't much of a child anymore, with a growing business and bills of his own. She takes this time to confront her life, her situation, and her own overwhelming need for love. But will her need for love be too strong to resist when Kryss shows up looking for her? That sounds like that's going to be very hard-hitting. Again, head in with caution. If abuse is particularly triggering to you, then maybe look up trigger warnings as far as maybe how prevalent in the book it's going to be. But I think the book sounds good, and I am definitely intrigued to pick this one up. And I don't know if I did say, but this one does have 822 ratings with a 4.2 average. I think I forgot that. If I did, there it is. If I didn't, there it is again. Yes, I had to get a jacket. I got cold. I am in the basement where heat rises. The basement, my office is in the basement, and it gets cold in here. So let's continue on. With this next grouping of books in the Black literature, there is one that I could not find by author, by title, so I'm not sure what happened with that. So I've taken it off of my list. So we're down to a total of 28 books in this video instead of the original 29. So just because I couldn't find that one by author and title, by just the title and by just the author, I could not find this book. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. I have The Two-Headed Monster, written by Clover. This has 22 ratings with a 3.86 average. No additional genre tags to tell you about. From the cover that I am seeing on Goodreads, which hopefully is the one that you're seeing here, this looks like it will be a spicy book. It says, Molly has the perfect life until a hidden secret turns her world upside down. After she discovers a red bra hidden in Dell's closet, she proceeds to uncover the truth. A scandalous affair, a cheating husband, and a reason to file divorce is what she hoped to find. Instead, Molly uncovers something far more sinister. And that's it. That's the synopsis. So, I'm not sure. Okay. I mean, it sounds good. I'm just not sure exactly what this is about. So, and it does say, this is short. It says the Kindle edition is only 77 pages. So, we shall see. Okay, next up I have Stormy Nights, written by Dominique, Krystal, Dawn. This has 14 ratings with a 4.5 average. No additional genre tags to tell you about. Looks like this one might be a standalone as well. It does say this is the 2023 second place winner in the BookFest Awards for Urban Fictions. Okay, so this is an urban book. Why is life so hard? That's the question that Stormy Nights can't stop asking herself. She doesn't know her father and her mother. Amber has been prostituting to support her drug habit ever since Stormey can remember. Up until recently, Stormey and her sister Sky were best friends, but now Stormey doesn't know where their relationship lies. Sky started running the streets with her boyfriend, a drug dealer, only concerned with fast money and expensive items, and it's only a matter of time before Sky gets caught up. Worrying about everyone else is making it hard for Stormey to live out her dream and become an artist, a dream that her friend Ace supports heavily. But when tragedy strikes his family, she's nervous that he might take the wrong path too. The only consistently good thing in her life is her Aunt Jewel, but even Stormey knows that Aunt Jewel won't be around forever. What will it take for Stormey and her family to come together and turn their lives around? This sounds like it can be hard-hitting, so I am definitely intrigued by that one. Okay, next up I have Seed on Fire. This was written by Michele Sims. It has 6 ratings with a 3.33 average. No additional genre tags to tell you about. It says, Caden and Alicia are busy balancing their upworldly mobile careers, marriage, and the arrival of a new baby. Nothing about their love has ever been typical. Filled with passion, their commitment to each other is purely magical. When a move from North Carolina to the heart of New York City, their family and the opportunities that open for them means everything. Then fate intervenes, making them wonder, will their relationship and child survive a series of nightmarish events? In a world where fantasy and reality collide, Seed on Fire is sure to take the reader on an unforgettable journey. Okay, sounds good. Next I have Should Have Thought Twice, written by Tanisha Stewart. This has 349 ratings with a 3.79 average. Thriller is the additional genre tag. It says, they say to always watch the quiet ones because you never know when they might snap. Shatina is a young woman with a troubled past and present. She lives in the shadows of her fraternal twin sister, who sucked up all the beauty genes, her best friend, whose seductive charm will sway any boy who listens, and her cousin, who is more than a knockout, but a force to be reckoned with. Shatina feels like she has nothing going for her but her grades, and her full scholarship to a 4-year institution of her choice, until someone comes along to threaten that. Shatina has faced threats before, and little does anyone know she has gained vindication over all her enemies, one by one. Except this last one might be a bit more of a challenge than she bargained for. This one sounds really good. Okay. Moving on, I have Loving a Savage, written by T.L. Joy. This has 65 ratings with a 4.2 average. No additional genre tags. It does say the Kindle edition is 92 pages, so this is a novella. It says, at 18, Carrie doesn't have a care in the world. All she wanted to do was have fun with her friends, until she met the man who would change her life in more ways than she could have imagined. Jules lived a fast life, full of easy money and even easier women. When he met Carrie, it was something about her that pulled him in. Yet everything that glitters ain't gold, and Carrie will soon find out what it really means when it comes to loving a savage. Next, I have The Point of It All, written by Tamyra Griffin, I'm guessing is how that is said. I do apologize if I said that wrong. This has 229 ratings with a 4.49 average. There are no additional genre tags to tell you about. Meet Orchid, a goal-oriented good girl whose origins began in the hood, the very same hood she craved but was off-limits to her after the death of her father, one of the state's biggest kingpins. Being released from the reins her mother kept hold of, she finds her way back to the hood, and attracted to one of its most eligible ballers. DeMonte is every woman's wet dream, tall, dark, handsome, and paid. When he crosses paths with Orchid, he's determined to make her his, eventually wearing her down. A one-of-a-kind love begins that doesn't go unnoticed. When jealousy, deception, and envy come into play, lives are lost and the drama begins. Having lost the love of her life, Orchid struggles with picking up the pieces of her heart and raising a son on her own. After years of living in solitude, she emerges bigger and badder than ever, ready to take on life. When she finally opens her heart and again lets love in, her past catches up with her and puts in jeopardy her happily ever after. Or does it? I don't know. That sounds good. Okay. Next I have Flowers in the Snow, written by Danielle Stewart. This is actually part of a series. It is book number 1 in the Edenville series. And it looks like there are 4, yes, there are 4 books in this series. The last one, I don't see a release date, but as of right now, there are 4 books in this series. So, Flowers in the Snow, additional genre tags we have romance, historical, chick lit, women's fiction, and it also says education. So I've never seen that tag on one before. Okay. If you step across the threshold of Betty Grafton's house, you can be sure of 2 things. She'll feed you until you're ready to bust, and she'll love you before you even realize you're worthy of it. She spent her life building a family that finally feels complete. But as sad news forces her to relive the darkest moments of her life, she decides to share the story with those she loves. Revealing the hard truth about growing up in the South during the 1960s is difficult but necessary. She tells the tale of how an unlikely friendship shaped her into the woman she is today, exposing her mistakes, her fears, and her impossibly difficult heartbreak. Betty strives to teach them all what it means to truly love. This sounds sweet. It sounds really good and really intriguing. I really want to read this one. I do believe I forgot to tell you the ratings. It has 6,722 ratings with a 4.24 average. Okay. And that's as of today. These ratings are as of today. So by the time you see this video, there's a chance that these ratings could fluctuate a little bit. I'm filming this on September 12th. Okay. So next up I have Taking What's Hers, written by Mia Black. This one has 454 ratings with a 4.14 average, and the additional genre tag is romance. It does look like this is a novella. It does say that the Kindle edition is 114 pages. Let's see. Is that an I or an L? That looks like an I. So Kiana White always wants what she can't have, and what she wants is Zarek, her best friend's husband. On the run from her dangerous ex-boyfriend in Miami, Kiana's best friend is Candace. Oh, Kiana's best friend Candace offers her a place to stay and a fresh start. Once Kiana lays eyes on Zarek, she knows she was bound to be in trouble. Find out what happens in part 1 of Taking What's Hers. So this is a series. So this is part 1. So there we go. Good to know. Okay, next I have Shattered Intel. This is book number 1 in the Kyle Shatter thriller series. This one looks like it is the only book in this series thus far. So a brand new series. And this one, the genre tag is mystery thriller. It does say this was published October of 2020, so I'm not sure about any additional books since then, or this will be uncompleted. I don't know yet. This was written by Julia Payne, and it has 103 ratings with a 3.73 star average. It says, Kyle Shatter is what I'm thinking it is, because it's Shattered Intel, so Shatter. Kyle Shatter, I'm guessing, was always smart as a whip, quick on his feet, and loyal to his country without bounds. For this, Syntac, the most secretive intelligence agency in the world, designed to thwart terrorists' offensives before they sprouted, recruited him. No family, no friends, and no life. He sacrificed all in the name of service to his country. Syntac used its immense surveillance ability to protect the country. It operated at such high levels of secrecy that even Congress did not know they existed. With zero oversight and accountability, they expanded in size, reach, and ability until they acted with impunity, were immune from consequence. Okay. Follow Shatter as he learns new things about himself, develops new skills, undergoes hard lessons. Follow his journey as he descends into the cult of the intelligence service. Was thinking that the abolition of the principles on which the country was founded worth the price of security. Shatter rose through the ranks to be one of their key agents, taking on classified operations in the pursuit of American global dominance. But who exactly was he benefiting? The people? The government? The president? Even he didn't fully know. Then one day it all went horribly wrong, and he found himself clinging to life, left for dead, and out in the cold. Okay, this is a short story. It does say this is only 65 pages for the Kindle, so it sounds good. Okay, and this, let's see, this next one is Never As It Seems, written by Gomer Joseph. This is book number 1 in the Never As It Seems series, so same title. And it looks like there are 4 books, or 5. There's 5 books in this series as of right now. Okay, this one has 168 ratings with a 3.76 average. Mystery and fiction are the only additional genre tags. A murdered doctor, an angry ex-wife, a defense attorney must uncover the truth. Defense attorney Kevin August, I'm guessing is how it's said. I could be way wrong. Kevin has devoted his life to the pursuit of justice. An immigrant from Haiti, he has seen firsthand the corrupting influence of money and power. It definitely can corrupt. Now he fights to be a force for good in his community and to ensure his children grow up in a better world than the one he left behind. But when late-night police sirens disturb his sleepy neighborhood, Kevin is shocked to discover that his neighbor and client, it looks like it's Dr. Delroy is what I'm thinking. Could be wrong, but Dr. Delroy Davidson, so this neighbor, Dr. Delroy Davidson, has been murdered. And Delroy's ex-wife has come to town demanding her share of the inheritance. When a reading of Delroy's will reveals that another woman will receive half his wealth, Kevin finds himself drawn into a deadly dispute that threatens both him and his family. Torn between protecting his loved ones and revealing the truth, Kevin must outwit mafia thugs, scheming widows, and vindictive families. Okay, this one sounds really good. And then it says, but can Delroy's killer be forced out of hiding before he becomes the next victim? Okay, this one sounds really good. Oh, I am excited for this one. All right, we are on the last 8 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, the last 8 books. All right, so this next one I have is Shadow's Debt. It says this is a Nightshade Vampires romance. This is written by Danni Williams. It has 66 ratings with a 4.32 average. I don't see any links to any part of the series, and the only additional genre tag is vampires, which you can tell from that little subtitle. Okay, this one says, the repayment of a debt will change the balance of power for the entire supernatural world. Life drops a bomb on dragon shifter Simone Williamson when she finds out her father owes Lord Andre Silversbane a debt and has offered her to him as repayment, and Andre accepts. Now Simone must learn to survive among the Nightshade vampires as the new Lady Silversbane without losing her life, and survive a plot by the Mad King Raphael, who wants her to retrieve an artifact that should remain hidden. But when tragedy strikes, Simone will have to make the decision that will change the world as she knows it or destroy it. It says this is perfect for fans of Thea Harrison's Elder Races world. Never heard of that, but if you have read that book and like that series, then maybe you'll like this one. Okay. Next I have I Am the One, God Mend My Broken Heart. This is written by Sherilyn L. Rochester Dix. 308 ratings with a 4.16 average, and additional genre tags are romance and Christian romance. Okay, it says, I just scrolled down too far. Come on, it's frozen. Here we go, come on, there we go. Claudia was all in love with her high school sweetheart, Wendell. She locked her heart with his. It was a purely live, love, and laugh for 10 of the 15 years they were together. During that time, she gave little to no attention to God and his guidance. Claudia forgot God when she was in this relationship. Nothing could hold her back from celebrating and cherishing her life with Wendell, the one she made her first love. Okay. She etched her name beside his, which was all the world she could imagine and needed. But after 15 years, Wendell broke up with her. It was heartbreaking. A life without Wendell was a life she could not imagine. She had nowhere to go, no one to turn to, and no place to live. What was she to do? Embarrassed, she did not want to go back to her family. Claudia did not want to hear, "Told you so." She did not want to face the heartbreak and past mistakes she made in this now failed relationship. The only thing she could do was end it all. With a heavy, broken heart and a despairing soul, she was ready a despairing soul, not bowl, a despairing soul, she was ready to give it all up, including life itself. Okay, that is sad. She had nothing left. Wendell was her world. He used to give her love, sex, attention, gifts, you name it. Now she's left with nothing. Nothing at all. What happened next was inescapable, and she only had herself to blame. Her grandmother warned her, but she did not listen. And now Claudia had to decide to give up or give it to God, the same God she had deserted years before because of Wendell. She now has a decision to make. Does she give it all up, or does she turn back to God and let him turn a heartbreak into a blessing in disguise? Here is Claudia's journey of how Wendell broke up with her, to Claudia finding herself, finding God, becoming a Christian woman filled with purpose, determination, and finding love and Christian romance, again with a Christian billionaire. Maybe. This next one is called Sailing into the Heart. This is a sweet island romance about old love and new beginnings. This is book number 1 in the St. James Sisters series. It looks like there are 5 books in this series. This was written by Tana Jenkins, is who the author is said. It says that this is a novella. That's actually one of the tags on Goodreads at 150 pages. It also has contemporary and romance as additional tags. This has 161 ratings with a 3.57 average. It says, a childhood marriage dream comes crashing into the rocky reality of adulthood in this sweet beach romance between a woman who is an island unto herself and a man for whom the world is not enough. As the two navigate conflicting ideas about the future of a small island's sailboat building school, Sydney St. James realizes Devon Fox might be the life raft she didn't know she needed. Will Devon realize that Sydney, his first friend, first kiss, and first marriage proposal at the tender age of 13, is a safe harbor for his heart, the last and only woman he's ever truly loved? Set in Mechanic Island, this interracial romance between a Native American man and a biracial African woman is the first novella in the St. James Sisters collection. So, there you go. Okay, next up I have First Encounters of Love. This is a box set. It does have 3 books in this. So, let me read the synopsis. Now, this set has 21 ratings with a 3.76 average, and the author is Tracy Reed. The synopsis for this box set says, the First Encounter of Love box set includes 3 stories of romantic firsts that didn't start out too well, but ended better. Anyone, I think it's supposed to be, but ended better than anyone could have imagined, but it's missing a word. This box set, the fix-up, Roxy Wade's beloved Nana Irene has fixed her up 23 times, and all 23 dates have been disasters. Her feisty Nana refuses to believe she's a bad matchmaker. After all, she found herself a great young boyfriend. Nevertheless, she meets the perfect guy for Roxy, or fix-up number 24. There's just one problem. Roxy refuses to go on another one of her Nana's fix-ups. But that doesn't stop Miss Irene. She's got a plan that Roxy won't refuse. The Fling, Selena Crawford. Okay, so that's the synopsis for all 3. And then this is what it says about the 3 books that are in there. The Fling. Selena Crawford and Ruben Porsche are lowly workaholics in need of a vacation. When both are forced into taking a vacation, they get a little more than the luxury Anguilla resort offered on the website. The Night I Fell in Love, I Want a Divorce, right, would give you, or maybe I Want a Divorce is book 3, I don't know. Anyway, it says that this would give into your spouse's request for a divorce. Would you give into your spouse's request for a divorce, or would you fight for marriage? Cicely has given her husband Traik 30 days to recall the story of the day he fell in love with her. If he can't, she's filing for divorce. That's what it says. It does sound good. So I am intrigued by that. I look forward to that. Okay.
Next, I have Bred to Kill. This is written by Simone Majors. It has 153 ratings with a 4.27 average. No additional genre tags to tell you about. It does say that this is 85 pages, so this is a novella. If you thought Crazy from the Hot Boys series was a crazy gangsta bitch, then you have no idea what Simone Majors has in store for you. Meet Queen, a cold-hearted chick born and raised on the east side of Detroit. Her life turned for the worst the day her beloved older brother King died right before her eyes in cold blood. From that moment on, her life went in a downward spiral. When love, disloyalty, betrayal, and drugs came into the mix, Queen comes to terms that living in the D, you will truly learn how cold it could be. Okay. This next one is The Mace Davis Project Presents Love Changes. This was written by Z.E. Harris. It has 1 rating with a 3-star. No additional genre tags. It says... There's really not much of a synopsis. This is all it says. From the streets of Chicago to the dealing in the boardroom, the lives of people from different worlds will collide. In the quest for power, loves will be lost. In the pursuit of love, deceptions will be revealed. That's all it says. So I really don't know anything about that one. Okay, next is Falling for the Wrong One by Mia Black. I do see this author pop up quite a bit in some of these free books that are under, and it's usually tagged under Black literature. So I do have a couple. I think I've had, is this the first one you're seeing that's tagged Black literature? Probably, but I know I have several more of this author's works written down. But this is tagged as urban. And it says, let's see, 145 ratings with a 4.37 average. It says, Carlisle Stanton is the epitome of success. As the heir apparent to the family's business empire, she seems to have it all. And I could have said the name wrong. So, on the surface, she seems to have it all on the surface. Privately, she struggles to find one thing she really wants, real love. Daryl Wynn is living the dream. Or he was, until a devastating football injury sidelined his career and put strain on his already rocky marriage. Now he's determined to finally achieve what he's always hoped to achieve, own and operate a lucrative restaurant business. When Daryl seeks out wealthy investors to keep his business afloat, sparks immediately fly when he meets Charles Stanton's daughter. Maybe it's Charlize. Charlize. I like that name. I think it's Charlize. Not Carlisle. Charlize. I'm going to say Charlize from now on. Okay, so just as things seem to be falling into place, everything Daryl has worked hard for can all come tumbling down for crossing the one line he should have never crossed. Secret, lies, and deceit will all be revealed in falling for the wrong one. I think it's Charlize. Now that I look at that, I think that's the character's name. Very pretty name. Okay. This last one I have to tell you about in this Black literature book haul is called The Return, written by Nenny May. This has 95 ratings with a 4.11 average. And additional genre tags are young adult, mystery, contemporary, and thriller. A body is uncovered in an empty classroom in Lincoln Lane Prep, West Jackson Boulevard. It's ruled an accident, a heroin overdose. The case is closed within a month. Holly Steinfeld already has enough on her plate with her parents' re-engagement, school, and settling into a town she once considered a distant memory. But who can resist a good mystery? Enthralled by the Layton case, teenage girl found drugged and dead on the night of her prom, Holly enlists the help of 4 unlikely kids, and together they find themselves digging into a world of lies, secrets, and manipulation to uncover what really happened to Scarlett on the night of her prom. Can she reopen a cold case and make it back in time for her parents' wedding? I don't know, but that sounds good. So that is it. Let me know if you have read any of these books. Again, these were all tagged on Amazon, or at least in the emails that I received, as Black literature. So let me know if you've read any of these books, or have you read any other books from any of these authors. Definitely let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I will talk to you later.